Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Karen Orser, and I'm the CEO of the Luna Child and Youth Advocacy Centre. I'm glad to be here alongside Sergeant Darren Smith from the Calgary Police Service Child Abuse Unit as we kick off Child Abuse Prevention Month with an important discussion on a serious issue that impacts the safety and well-being of children and youth in our communities. Today we're talking about online facilitated child abuse and how we can help prevent it. Before reaching their 15th birthday, 6 in 10 Canadians experience some form of child abuse, and in Alberta, it's closer to 7 in 10. Child abuse is a serious public health issue, and children who experience abuse are at greater risk for lifelong physical and mental health issues, such as addiction, anxiety, depression, and chronic illness. Thankfully, child and youth advocacy centres like Luna exist to provide the critical interventions and wraparound support that are required to help young people impacted by abuse to heal. Child and youth advocacy centres give children and youth a safe place to share their experiences of abuse and receive the support and resources they need throughout the disclosure, investigation, and judicial process, and along their healing journey. Luna is one of 9 child and youth advocacy centres in Alberta and more than 40 across Canada. At Luna, all of the public systems responsible for responding to child abuse work together as one team from one location right here at the Luna Centre. This team includes more than 130 professionals from Alberta Health Services, Alberta Justice, Children and Family Services, Education, RCMP, Victim Services, and of course, our partners with the Calgary Police Service. Because these partners work together as one team and can share information and expertise so readily with one another, we reduce the chances of further trauma for children and youth by ensuring they do not have to recount their stories of abuse over and over again. At Luna, we respond to the most complex and severe and urgent cases of child abuse. Each year, our multidisciplinary team supports almost 3,000 children, youth, and their families. Since the beginning of 2024 alone, 932 child abuse cases have been assessed at Luna. 75% of the cases we support each year involve sexual abuse. 70% of the children we serve are female, 25% male, and 5% are gender diverse. 56% of the children and youth we serve are between the ages of 12 and 17, and 44% are under 12. Younger children are more likely to experience abuse from people they know, while older children experience more peer-based and technology-facilitated abuse. As we continue our vital work in intervention and healing, we've also assumed a more upstream role in child safety and protection by focusing on the prevention of child abuse. With access to significant expertise and knowledge under one roof, and because of our ability to share information and resources in real time, Luna is in a unique position to identify emerging issues and trends related to child abuse, so we can immediately start to build community awareness and engagement and to drive prevention strategies and initiatives. And that's why Sergeant Smith and I are here today as partners at Luna to highlight one such issue of growing concern. We're taking this opportunity at the start of Child Abuse Prevention Month and throughout the rest of October to raise awareness about online facilitated child abuse and what we can do to help keep kids safe. Child abuse can take many forms, but we're increasingly concerned about the prevalence of technology-facilitated abuse involving children and youth. Around 11% of the total child abuse cases assessed at Luna have some sort of internet or image-based component, which equates to 110 incidents since the start of 2012. Sergeant Smith will talk a bit more about prevalence shortly. As technology continues to evolve, so does the nature of child abuse. In today's digital age, the internet is a vital resource for learning and connection, but it also poses significant risk for our children. Online child abuse encompasses various forms, including luring, grooming, exploitation, sextortion, cyberbullying, and the creation and distribution of child sexual abuse materials. We know that both the short and long-term effects of online abuse for children and youth can be devastating and long-lasting, impacting mental health, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Many children feel isolated and vulnerable, making it crucial for all of us as a community to come together and provide support and protection. There are a few key priority areas when considering efforts. Education and awareness. We must prioritize awareness and education for parents, caregivers, and children, including understanding safe online practices, being aware of the platforms that kids are using and the risks associated with them, fostering safe environments and open communication about online experiences, recognizing the signs of abuse and how to respond and report, and being aware of the resources that are available to help. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection, for instance, has a broad range of excellent resources on its website for youth, parents, educators, professionals, and the general public related to online facilitated abuse and safety. Empowering children and youth. Teaching children how to be safe online and how to recognize unsafe situations, and encouraging them to speak up if they feel uncomfortable or threatened online. Ensuring they have access to the supports they need to heal when they've experienced abuse of any kind. And community engagement. Engaged communities are the best line of defense in keeping kids safe. And we know that collaborative approaches to child and youth safety and child abuse prevention are most effective. This includes ensuring schools, community groups, and professionals who work with children and youth have the knowledge and capacity to recognize signs of abuse and know what to do to help stop it. And advocacy. We know there's a need to increase our advocacy efforts to encourage the development of robust legislation that not only holds perpetrators accountable, but that will also ensure tech companies and platforms are prioritizing the safety and protection of children and youth online. Child abuse is preventable, and we all have a role to play in keeping kids safe, whether that's at home, in schools, in the community, or online. Today, we're calling on parents, educators, professionals, and community leaders to join us in creating a safer digital environment for our children. We urge anyone who's a victim of abuse to come forward and tell someone you trust. And we want to remind everyone of their responsibility to report suspected abuse. If you see something, say something. You can go to our website and follow us on social media to learn more about child abuse prevention and how you can get involved. Thank you again for being here today and for helping to get the message out about this important issue. I'm now going to hand it over to Staff Sergeant Darren Smith from the Calgary Police Child Abuse Unit to share some more information about the prevalence of abuse online and to provide some advice on prevention and online safety and to share how to report abuse. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for the introduction. So as she pointed out, my name is Darren Smith. I'm the Staff Sergeant of the Calgary Police Service Child Abuse Unit here. Calgary Police is proud to be a partner with the Luna Child Advocacy Center and all the different agencies and organizations that are a part of that collaboration. Luna Child Advocacy Center is a model, as Karen pointed out, that has been and should be replicated across the country. Prior to CACs being around, we would have youth that would have to go to multiple different locations. They would have to navigate a very complex system by themselves with little support for themselves and the caregivers. Today, we're all under one roof. Our victims are interviewed here, they receive their therapy here, they receive their medical exams here, and often they even testify from the Child Advocacy Center. So the fact that this center exists is amazing. We are also seeing, obviously, as Karen pointed out, technology being used more and more in crimes. So as she stated, in 2024, 110 cases that have been reported so far have some type of online component. Now, often that includes sharing of intimate images, taking photos and trading them back and forth, all the way up to luring offenses where strangers are attempting to lure some of our children. Of those 110 incidents, 73% of those victims were female, 23% male, and 4% were gender diverse. And unfortunately, the average age of those victims was 11 and a half years old. Calgary Police Service encourages parents, caregivers, and guardians to review online safety with their children. So that's being aware of who their child is interacting with. Strangers online, as we know, may not be truthful about who their identities are. Be curious about what your children are doing online. There's countless apps that are coming up. Ask your kids about those apps. Ask them about what they're doing online. Become curious about that. Never post or trade any intimate images or digital photos of yourself. Never reveal personal information like your address, phone number, or your school. Never agree to meet someone in person who you've only interacted with online. And if you do, ensure a parent or guardian is with you. Tell your parents if you feel uncomfortable or receive threatening emails, text messages, or texts, and ensure privacy settings are used properly and how to block unwanted users. There's also questions from parents around signs that they should be looking for as far as their child potentially being a victim or being part of sexual exploitation. Some signs would be secretive all of a sudden. Of course, we're not going to say that a teenager that becomes secretive is automatically going to be a victim. However, if that is accompanied by sudden gifts, they have clothes, they have purses, they have alcohol, they have drugs, but they have no source of income, that is a red flag for possible exploitation. Like domestic violence, child abuse is a crime which often occurs in the home, as Karen pointed out. So far in 2024, 68% of the crimes investigated by my unit have involved either a bio parent, extended family member, sibling, parent, or partner to a parent, or someone known to the family, followed by peers at 17% and strangers at 11%. So the biggest message we can get across today is, if you are a victim of child abuse, report it. And if you're concerned that someone may be a victim of child abuse, report it. And then we'll open up to any questions you may have.
Back in the 90s, there was a big advertising campaign for Children's Help Phone that was very well known at the time. Is there anything like that that's going to be pushed, like for like an app or something like that, for children to reach out in an easy manner for them to hear their situation?
So there's multiple ways that you report it to us. So it can be reported through Calgary Police Service or through Child and Family Services. We do have Crime Stoppers. We do, of course, have the the Kids Helpline. We also have CyberTip, again, technology nowadays. So you can report things through CyberTip online, which will again come to Luna Center. So every type of reporting will come here in some fashion to us.
Was there something like that? It's going to be like a huge campaign. Let's say like Kids Help Phone was huge in the 90s. I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah.
It was basically it was huge and everyone knew about it. I don't know if anyone knows like one central app for children to reach out to. I don't know if there's like an app, like inception of that going on or something like that.
That's a good question. I
would say, certainly Kids Help Phone is still a good resource. Kids can call the distress center. And most importantly, we know that a lot of kids also disclose to friends or people they trust. And so we also think it's really important to get the message out for children and teenagers that if their friends disclose abuse or something has happened, tell a parent, tell a caregiver, tell someone you trust. Yep.